Hello once again, we are still on Cyber Science and Filecoin meeting, and as I said, it wasn't possible to be here without Filecoin Foundation. And now we are with Robert, and Robert is from Filecoin. Robert, could you say something more about you?
Hello, everyone. Should I hold this mic? Hi, everyone. My name's Robert. I work for the Filecoin Foundation as a developer advocate, and it was great to come to the meetup and give a talk. There was huge excitement. The room, which had 150 seats, was totally full. Then we had overflow. I think something like another couple of hundred people came into the overflow area, which is really, really crazy to see, but I think shows the excitement and desire for knowledge amongst the students here and amongst the, let's say, the cryptocurrency or blockchain community here in Poland. So it's great to see this, and I was flattered to be asked to give a talk.
Thank you, Robert. But I think that many people now watching us are thinking what the Filecoin is, because Filecoin is a very interesting solution, but it's not so popular in Poland. Could you say something more about Filecoin solution?
Sure. So Filecoin is a decentralized storage network. Effectively, when someone wants to store data on Filecoin, we call them a client. The client will come to the network and say, hey, I have this much data, and I'm willing to spend this amount of Filecoin to rent storage space on one of the thousands of storage providers' data centers that compete to accept these storage deals. And what will happen is a storage provider will see the deal, and they'll say, hey, I can accommodate this deal, and the price is right for me. So they'll signal that they will accept the deal by providing something called a proof of replication. So a type of proof of stake. It's cryptographic evidence that the storage provider has made a copy of the data that the client wants to store onto the data center that the storage provider is operating. And then every day, the storage provider will provide a second type of proof of stake called a proof of space-time. And the proof of space-time is cryptographic evidence that the data is in the memory space at the time that they're saying it is. Basically, this is cryptographic evidence that the data is still there. And every day that the proof of space-time is provided, the client pays more of the Filecoin rent that they committed to pay to the storage provider to keep that data there. And these Filecoin storage deals last 540 days. At the end of the deal, the client will decide, hey, I think this is going well. I'm okay with the price. Let's renew the deal. But if they're not okay with it, or they just want to find a cheaper price, they can go back to the Filecoin storage marketplace and find a cheaper storage provider. So that's effectively how Filecoin works. It is a decentralized storage network.
As you know, we started today a Cyber Science Hackathon, and I think that there are many students still thinking, how can I use Filecoin solution, for example, for my idea on hackathon? Could you help them?
Sure. So with respect to Filecoin at hackathons, many of the people who choose to build on Filecoin or build an app on Filecoin will do so building smart contracts. So naturally, Filecoin has a virtual machine layer that enables builders to write smart contracts. And, excuse me, what's unique about the Filecoin virtual machine is that you have access to data storage primitives that you wouldn't have access to on other competing smart contract platforms. So what this means is you could build apps that you would build with smart contracts, but with access to storage primitives. So what does that mean? Here's maybe an example of an app you would build. Excuse me. Here's an example of an app you would build on Filecoin that is only possible because of these storage primitives. Let's say you have a data set and you've stored it with the storage provider, and that data set is particularly valuable. Well, what you could do is you can do more or less access control using smart contracts, where you can write a smart contract, and the business logic would be something like this. anyone with a Filecoin address can send to the smart contract some Filecoin in order to access that file. That file is locked unless you pay the smart contract. If you pay the smart contract, it'll add your Filecoin address to a list, and that list is the Filecoin addresses that are allowed to access this file. So effectively, you have enabled both file access control, so you're setting up some condition to access a file, or I should say, and you've enabled something of an economy around a data set where you're requiring people to pay to see a data set. Another really interesting, unique example that is something you would build on Filecoin related to file storage is this idea of perpetual storage. So you'll remember I mentioned to you that at the end of a storage deal, the client has to decide whether or not to renew the deal or not. The length of these deals are 540 days. Well, maybe you don't have time to monitor your deal and manually take care of renewing it. So you might want to write a smart contract that'll handle that for you. We call that perpetual storage. And effectively, you could think of a totally hypothetical example business logic for an app like this to go something like this. Step 1, endow the smart contract app with some Filecoin. Step 2, have that Filecoin invested somewhere, some investment vehicle, who knows what it would be. Step 3 would be if the investment made more money last year than the cost of storing your data set would be next year, automatically renew the deal that you're tracking. If not, find a new storage provider. And step 4 would be to actually track that deal and do that automatic renewal or find a new storage provider. So that's the story with respect to building on Filecoin and hackathons. And we hope all the great students who came out today end up coming to hackathons and deciding to build using Filecoin.
That seems to be very interesting. I'm waiting for students using this solution. Thank you.